Merry Christmas to YouTube. Merry Christmas to YouTube. Yes, today is Christmas, and we are going to be showcasing a special Azumarill set today. This is the best of 3 I had against against Bryant. This is just a random best of 3. I didn't set it up or nothing. I just went to the battle room, and we eventually worked out to a best of 3. The title you see is called Special Azumarill causes him to rage quit or salty rage quit or something. Because overall in this best of 3, Special Azumarill puts in the work, and then in the third game Azumarill just goes off. So make sure you stay tuned to the very last game. I will be leaving this Azumarill's EV spreads and everything in the description and everything, because I think this Azumarill for the most part is a really good set. You got the Surf, you got the Ice Beam, Grass Knot, and I believe Focus Blast. So this thing just hits hard overall as a special mon, and most Pokemon they're going to be switching in as their physical walls, not necessarily their special walls. So you can definitely use Azumarill as a surprise Pokemon. Unfortunately, you see it go down game 1 pretty early, but it did do quite a bit of damage, you know? I mean, we were able to two-shot a Fortress, and we got the Swampert down really low, right? So hey, that's not too shabby. Alright, so right here we go into our Garchomp. Thinking either two things could happen here. He's going to try and break my sub, or he'll try and switch and I have a free sub up. He does go for the breaking my substitute, which is fine. I can easily go for EQ here, knowing that he's probably not really wanting to preserve the Swampert, especially since I already set up the substitutes. He doesn't want to go into Gliscor in case if I substitute a second time. He goes into Donphan. Donphan, practically on this team, the Weezing, Skarmory, Dragonite, and Sableye. My two biggest sweepers are very weak to this Donphan, right? Because it has the Ice Shard. And it hits my dragons really hard. I really don't have a good switch in. Trying to set up the substitute, see if that was a better play, but I think ultimately if I went for Outrage, I think I would have got the same result as I am able to get right here. So either way, Garchomp goes down. We do 1/4 to this Donphan, right? We lost Azumarill very early. In game 2 and 3, we adapted really well and we kept Azumarill alive, and I think that's what really set the tone for games 2 and 3. But game 1, we have to kind of rely on some of our other Pokemon. This Donphan has Fire Fang though. What the crap, you know? And I understand my Skarmory is a very weird set, right? You're thinking Swords Dance, Drill Peck, Rock Slide, and Roost. And I'm honestly thinking about taking Roost out for oh man, it's a Psychic attack. It's not Skill Swap, it's where you can swap your defenses or something. I forgot, man, it slipped in my head. But basically the idea is your defenses are going to be taking a big hit, right? So yeah, you get this speed boost as well though, and then if you have that one move, and I cannot remember it, I'll see if I can put it in the description, but definitely cannot remember it at the moment. But you can swap your defenses around with the opposing Pokemon, you know, and Skarmory can practically get really good defense at the end of it and still be like a +4 attack with like insane speed, you know. So it's definitely something to look at, and then you have leftovers for recovery. But anyway, Recallier comes in here and would have revenge kill our Skarmory, which wasn't too difficult. So we go into our Sableye, and I believe he switches out into Tyranitar. This is why Prankster Sableye you don't see that much of, because Tyranitar's around, and with it's being just a dark type, I cannot Will-O-Wisp using my Sableye against it. Because Sableye's ability is Prankster. Prankster does not work on dark types. So I have to go into my Weezing, which Weezing's not a bad Pokemon here. we definitely want to go for the Will-O-Wisp. This is a Will-O-Wisp Toxic Protect and Sludge Bomb set. Probably the most standard set that you see on this team. But really and truthfully, I needed a little bit of standard. And I was watching Pokemon Journeys, and I just kept thinking, you know, I want to put a Weezing on my team, and Weezing's not even in Pokemon Journeys. I just kept thinking about Weezing, you know. I was like, I want a Weezing out now, you know. I think it was the episode where Go caught Suicune. He had to battle a bunch of poison types, and I think that was when I was forming this team, you know. And I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, I want to put a poison type on my team. What's a good poison type that's not? And I was like, Weezing. Weezing would be a fantastic poison type. So that's what I done. I got myself a Weezing, and I was so excited when I was building it too. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use this. We're gonna win with Weezing. And tell you the honest truth, Weezing puts in the work here. Weezing actually just doesn't care about that knockoff. It's like a +4 glide score, but it is burnt, and it goes down. Weezing beats it, and Weezing's still at relatively good health. Now Tyranitar comes out here, and we want to burn it. We still want to burn it. I think if we can get this burn off, we're in a great spot. He goes for Dragon Dance, and unfortunately, we do get the burn, but he has a Lumberry. Unfortunately, he has a Lumberry. So that's a little bit upsetting for us, because I think we could have lived, I think, one of these attacks, but he does end up getting a critical hit with this Rock Slide, taking our Weezing out. And it would have been questionable if we would have lived it, but Weezing is known to be a very defensive Pokemon. I think we could have lived it. Alright, so now we go into our Dragonite. This is the weird situation, right? Because we know Sableye can beat Lucario one-on-one, especially once we get it burned. I have to have my Dragonite to where it can fight this Tyranitar, basically. So I was like, you know what, I'll go for Dragon Dance, and then we'll go for the Outrage. Dragonite has a high physical attack. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough to take out the Tyranitar. So now I'm stuck with Sableye. And I'm like, looking at that range, I'm like, this will be questionable if we can survive it or not. Or if he can survive our Dark Pulse, so I'd go for it. I should have waited till the sand subsided. If he didn't have that sand boost, we would have knocked him out. Unfortunately, I'm forced to keep on clicking recover, and I'm not able to put pressure on him. So this right here eventually leads to my loss. But it's alright. Like I said, this set goes to free games, and I think the great part about this set is it shows that you can definitely adapt after you learn some of the information that your opponent shows you. Alright, so game number 2, he leads Fortress, and I'm thinking in the team preview, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go lead Skarmory. I think Skarmory actually does quite a bit of work here, and I was a little salty at the time, because I almost was able to get a Skarmory sweep like an hour before I was starting to record this. And the guy, right before Skarmory was fully able to get going, the guy decided just to run. And I was like, man, I didn't have enough action for a Skarmory sweep video. So it wasn't going to be a good enough video, and I didn't want to upload it. So I was low-key wanting to get the Skarmory sweep. I know this, that's why you see me setting the Skarmory up right in front of this Fortress. Right here I go for Rock Slide, trying to get the flinch. Either way, he was going to live. If I went for Drill Pick, he was going to live because of Sturdy. So I said, you know what, I'm going to fish for that flinch. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. That's fine. We got Drill Pick. We're going to knock out the Fortress. Unfortunately, he can easily come in with just about anything that he has priority, like this Domfan, and easily hit Ice Shard. I believe he goes for Fire Fang, so he actually allows me to get this Drill Peck off, which does quite a bit of damage. And I don't know, I was in the same boat as him. Ice Shard may not have picked up the KO. Either way, Right here, we were predicting a Swampert to come on in. And Grass Knot would have done plenty enough damage on this Donphan anyway, so I was okay with that. Going for the Grass Knot onto the Swampert switch, we do big boy damage, right? That Swampert's almost gone. No Mirror Coat shenanigans for you. He's forced to go for that big Earthquake. And we're able to take him out with a second Grass Knot. So Azumarill putting in some work here. Azumarill. Alright, so here comes the Lucario. And, you know, it's easy to go into Sableye, but he might... But I was also thinking, you know what? No, we'll go into Weezing. Because Weezing can take any physical attack. Weezing can retaliate with the Will-O-Wisp as well. And we'll be in a good spot. Yeah, because I have no issue going for the Will-O-Wisp. Like, if you want to go for that T-Tar play and burn your Lumberry, be my guest. You know, if you wanted to go into anything, be my guest. Because, really and truthfully, Lucario does not threaten my team all that much. So I don't know, in game 1, he was kind of saving it. Unfortunately, we do miss right there. We do miss our Will-O-Wisp. And I had nothing else I could have done. I didn't really have a good switching at this point because I could have went to Sableye if I knew he was going for extreme speed, but I needed to hit that Will-O-Wisp. That one kind of bit me in the butt a little bit. Let's see, so we get into Garchomp. Garchomp definitely easily threatens this. I can go for EQ. Could have predicted the switch here. He goes into the Gliscor. Could have predicted it and went for a Sub or a Swords Dance combination. And we actually learned that if he goes for knockoff, it does not break our substitute here too. So this Gliscor is a little bit on the weaker side, which is a good thing for me. I just didn't know that information right off the bat. We can definitely play that into game 3 though if it gets down to that point, you know, definitely. Seeing that he cannot knock us off with knockoff, so he's forced to go for EQ. Definitely something that can definitely play in our advantage. So we get the Sword Stance off as well. And so he goes for the big Earthquake. And we're able to, basically we're going to try and retaliate with a big Outrage. Hoping that this is enough to KO. Unfortunately it is not. But his Earthquake isn't very threatening because he did that much. But he gained a critical hit because of that. So definitely not too threatened by this Gliscor. Offensive capabilities anyway. We're kind of keeping him in there to he's either forced to go for his protect play or switch out basically. He does get the confusion on our Garchomp, but it really doesn't matter because I go for a Outrage anyway and we're able to hit it. Garchomp loves me enough to not get himself in confusion, and we are able to take out the Gliscor, which could have been a big issue if we left it unchecked. So that was a good thing that we went ahead and took him out. Donphan easily going to be able to revenge kill us with Ice Shard. We couldn't stop it. Donphan was a pain in the butt. Right here though, Azumarill is a pretty good Pokemon to come in. We can easily go for Surf. Ice Shard's resisted, so he can go for it. But we're gonna take it very easily. Surf comes up, Donphan's out, and that's what I'm saying. Azumarill, you're not gonna notice it at first, like hey, but it's actually been being able to pick up some big KOs or doing some big damage. But we knocked out the Donphan. We knocked out a Fortress in game 1. We knocked out. We're able to do over half damage to this Triantar. We'll just Surf, and in game 2 or game 3 you'll see that we're able to do over half with Grass Knot as well, which we'll get into that situation here in a few minutes. Not too much longer, but yeah, basically Azumarill being able to do huge damage that, you know, our opponents definitely not count for, because who counts for special Azumarill? The cool thing is about this Azumarill is it's a Sap Sipper ability as well. So therefore, if they go for a grass attack, which this team doesn't have, unfortunately, this team does not have, so I can't pull that attack off. But if they go for that grass attack, like the Bray Loom going for Spore, basically Azumarill just eats it up. And Azumarill just doesn't care, and we can actually go for an Ice Beam or something. Alright, so that situation with the Tyranitar, we wanted to just outrage, so take it out. We took it out. Now it's a battle between Sableye and Lucario. If we get this burn off, which we got right here, we're in a good spot. Because he can't do that much damage. He's got Life Orb, and now he's got a Burn Tick. All I have to do is keep on clicking recover. And that's practically game. Alright, so I do believe he actually just runs right here. Yeah, he did. Alright, so game number 3. This is where it gets fun, though. Alright, so we lead Azumarill. Azumarill, put in some work, right? Go for that big Surf. As this Fortress reveals Toxic Spikes as its 4th attack. So, we have to play this a little differently, because I definitely don't want my Mon to get poisoned or anything. So, after we take out this Fortress, he goes into Swampert. Don't want to be mirror coated first off, and it seemed like very obvious that's what he was wanting to do. So I go into Dragonite. Alright, so our Dragonite has Defog. I know you've seen that on my moveset and they're thinking, why do you have Defog? For this situation right here, this is nice because we're able to force the Swampert switch into the Tyranitar, which is fantastic because really and truthfully I can use Dragonite to fight this Tyranitar. Easily can go for Dragon Dance. He might actually try and set up his own Dragon Dance or something, so we'll just see what happens. We'll go for the first Dragon Dance and see what he does, right? So he goes also for a Dragon Dance. So we're just setting up in front of each other. I'm thinking to myself, well, I know I can take one Rock Slide, no problem. Let's go for another Dragon Dance and see what happens. So I go get myself up to +2. And truthfully, Dragonite's done its job if it gets this Tyranitar really low, basically. So, right here, I'm like, okay, we'll definitely go for the Outrage. Get this Tyranitar super low, and we'll be able to revenge kill it later. Unfortunately, that's not the case. He goes into this Gliscor, which this Gliscor does not like taking that attack. He does survive. But, he's in a little bit of a pickle, right? Because it's like, you can't switch. You're kind of just threw away your defensive wall now. You're a little bit in trouble, right? Because now you're opening up a spot where Dragonite or Garchomp can easily come in and sweep the rest of the game. We go into Azumarill. Basically, my wife was watching and she's like, trying to beat this guy the most disrespectful way possible. Beat him with 6 Pokemon left. I was like, okay, so we'll keep Dragonite alive. Was predicting the Swampert, but I still needed the damage onto the Swampert, so I was like, okay, we'll go for Surf first. Get him in that spot where we know he's going to go for the Mirror Coat, and we can easily go back out into Dragonite. And we're definitely going to be able to threaten this way. I know the Donphans want to come out, so what I could have either switched or put a little bit of damage onto the Donphan. Definitely don't want to go for Outrage. Definitely don't want to go for the Dragon Dance. So Donphan's out. I needed to break Sturdy anyway, so I went for Extreme Speed, and that was good enough damage to break Sturdy. So now we go back out into Azumarill. Azumarill is actually putting in some big work here. Azumarill is doing the big damage. Taking the Heavy Slam like it's nothing. Knowing that Swampert's going to come back in, we go for the Grass Knot. And Grass Knot threatens the Donphan as well. So that's really, really good for us. Swampert does come out and we're able to finish it off with the Grass Knot. So we're in a great spot all of a sudden. You know, Azumarill's able to get some big damage off. Right here's the Tyranitar I was just talking about. You know, we can easily go for another Grass Knot. Dragon Dance is up. But, like I said, this does over half. Over half. And this Azumarill, it's got some bulk to it, so it can actually survive a +1 earthquake, you know? And it actually proves it right here, and we're able to actually knock out a Tyranitar. So this Azumarill is a good Azumarill. I like this Azumarill set. We're able to knock out a Tyranitar, no problem. And so Lucario's out. And I can easily go into Sableye, and this is where he kind of gets a little salty. He goes for Power Up Punch. We go into the Ghost type, and he lost all momentum at that point, you know, and he just runs. And I thought that was hilarious, and I wanted to showcase that to you guys. I think the full set was very, very fun. Bryant, if you're watching, no hard feelings, man. Anyway, guys, if you guys did enjoy today's video, like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you guys get everything that you wish for this year. Anyway, guys, this is Wi-Fi Merman signing out. Peace.